It is I, Samson Wagner here, hailing from the mountain regions of hell. You got me walking down the mountain again, because I need to talk to people. Because I'm the people's champ. Okay? Morpheus fused with Neo. Okay? And Sauron. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not Sauron. But, we have a kind of controversial episode today. You know, I think it's only controversial to the simps. I shouldn't have to remind you what a simp is by now. You should already know. But anyway, let's get right into it, because I don't feel like talking about this all night. I just want to get it out to the people and go back up to my perch. Okay? But what I'm going to talk about today is about monuments and how if they represent tyranny, murder, you know, no justice, no, you know, stuff like that. I think they should be torn down or taken down and blown up. But I don't want to be talking about all the monuments, because I'm gonna be here all day and night, Kid Cudi style. So we gonna keep it simple, and we gonna keep it Pacific, and we're gonna talk about some of the Confederate monuments, or Confederate monuments in general, and how I feel they should be taken down. But before I get into it, you know, I just want to say something. It's just like, there's been a lot of crazy motherfuckers on the planet, right? Just done wild shit. Okay, wild shit. And that's like me. I had my last episode was about King Leopold, right? The second. That's like me it's like the Congo if they had monuments of King Leopold everywhere. Well, you know, it's history. You know, we gotta keep it up. No, it needs to be torn down. That guy was tyrannical. That's like me going to Italy and there's monuments of Mussolini up. Be like, oh, but bruv, it's well, that's English, but they'll be like, hey, you know, it's part of history, so I guess we gotta no! Tear it down. Last person before I get into the Confederates. It's like me going to Germany and there's a bunch of statues of Hitler. And be like, oh, well, you know, we just trying to remind people, you know, what? No! Tear it down. Burn it down. But anyway, let's get into Confederate monuments. So I found out. Now, there has been a few monuments that have been taken down, which is good. And so I was hyped. I was like, damn. You know, I was like, man, there's some, I was like, okay, we're making some progress. Then I found another article, and it's on this is actually a good website. It's the 538.com. And so apparently they have 700 Confederate monuments in the United States. I'm like, nigga, what? Like, what? 700? Like, are you kidding me? By the way, the article is called "There Are Still More Than 700 Confederate Monuments in the U.S." and it's on the 538.com. Awesome website. And so I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, 700 monuments? Okay, I'm gonna just keep it 100. All these things need to be torn down. All of them. Okay? First of all, they were in the Confederate Army, and guess what? The Confederate Army lost. Okay? I don't see a statue of a loser getting erected. I'm like, okay, I don't understand that. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Why would they erect statues of losers? Like, not to mention, the Confederate Army seceded from the United States. They tried to break the shit up. They tried to break it up. So, and on top of that, I'm pretty sure, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to. Let's be real. But I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe, I'm pretty sure 96% of those people in the Confederate Army were racist. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all a couple percentages, just for hope, but I doubt it. Okay, I'm pretty sure all of them were racist. I'm like, come on, man. So I want to talk about a specific one, because it's one of the major state of Georgia. It's gonna know what it is. You ask someone that lives in the state of Georgia where this monument is, they're gonna be, oh yeah, I've been there. I walked up it a few times, bro. Yeah, so they're gonna say they got people running up. They probably got people running it up as we speak. By now, I hope you know what monument I'm talking about. It's Stone Mountain, Georgia. Okay? It's a big is a big mountain, and it has carved in it on the side 3 people. I'm gonna name those 3 people. Okay. By the way, all of them were associated with the Confederacy and the Confederate Army. All of them. Okay. So we got the first person who is President Jefferson, president of the. Let me correct myself. My bad. President of the Confederate, Jefferson Davis. He was the president from February 22nd to 1861 to May 5th, 1865. Then you got General Robert E. Lee. I'm pretty sure everybody knows who that is, because I mean we had to study this motherfucker every day in history class. He was but a little quick reminder. He was the Confederate States. He was in the Confederate States Army. He was a general, obviously. I think he was a general from 1862 to 1865. And then the final one, I remember this one the most because I had to write a freaking paper on it. I was like, why am I writing a paper on a guy who fucking would have just fucking hung me or slit my throat back in the day? We talking about Thomas Jackson, aka Stonewall Jackson. That's pretty much everybody knows his name by, because I think they call him Stonewall because he just had this like this blank look, you know, and it made him look like stone, so they call him Stonewall Jackson. But he was a Confederate general from 1861 to 1863, and I'm pretty sure Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson may have met. I don't know, at some point. I don't know, but anyway, they built these, put it right on the side of Stone Mountain. 3 people from the Confederate Army, right? And let me tell you what's crazy about Stonewall Jackson. Let me not get off him for a second. You know what he said when he died? He said, "Let us cross over into the river and rest under the shade of the trees." I'm like, really? You a motherfucker? So all of a sudden, you probably said the N-word every 2 seconds. You probably never respect any black person. You have people in chains. You were killing your own countrymen. And all of a sudden you a poet at the end of your death? All of a sudden you dropping bars? Man, get out of here, man. I hope that river is full of alligators. And I hope that tree has birds in it to poop on your head. Okay? Like, that just shows how psychotic that way of thinking is. It's just like, dude, you guys had slaves. You had people under your boot heel. Okay? You killed your own countrymen because you were mad. And you have the nerve to say something like this? You trying to get poetic all of a sudden? Man, when I read that, man, I was hot. Okay? But the reason I feel like this specific one needs to get torn down, because it's just like this huge reminder that, hey, yeah, you may be able to walk around here and there and, you know, go to this store or whatever, go to our schools, but guess what, motherfucker? This is still our country. Okay? Nigga. Okay, that's exactly what when I see a monument, that's what I see. I went to Washington D.C. the other day. I went to Washington D.C. I think about 2 months ago. Man, it's cool to see the monuments, but man, when you in a certain monument, you just looking at, it was the, damn it, I can't really think of the name, but it's where all the portrait of the presidents are. You know, we saw the Obamas just came out, so it was a little crowded in there. Their pictures dope, by the way. Obama and John F. Kennedy had really nice photos. But then I started walking down towards, you know, the Washingtons, you know, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, those presidents, and I'm just like, it was interesting to see because you never seen it, but it's like, man, I was feeling weird. I was like, nigga, all these dudes hated me. Like, all these dudes hated me. I would have been in chains. I wouldn't be able to step foot in where I was at. If it was the way it was back then, the building I was standing in, I would have got beat up, thrown out, and probably killed. Okay? So, it's just like, all people, black people, Spanish, anybody not of color, seeing these monuments up, especially Stone Mountain, it's just like in your face. It's just like, bam. It's just like, it need to be taken down. Like, they need to be taken down. Like I said before, I've never seen a monument erected for a loser. I mean, when you find one, come get me. Like, come get me. Like, okay, I don't think they're erecting a monument of the guy who saw the iceberg but didn't turn the ship on the Titanic. Okay, they're not They're not erecting that monument up. They're like, bro, you saw it. Okay. But yeah, man, it's just crazy. But you know what? You know what monument really needs to be torn down? And it's not a physical monument. It's not physical. Samson, what do you mean? I'm about to tell y'all, relax. It's the monument of the mind. Ooh, I just dropped the bomb. The monument of the mind. Okay. Yeah, you could tear down all 700 Confederate monuments. You could tear them all down. But if you got people thinking Confederate or thinking like a Confederate person or that mentality, white supremacy may call it, whatever, guess what? We still lose. People still lose because that mentality is still there. That's when people talk about white supremacy. They always talking physical act. They see the Klan. They see the alt-right. They see all these people. They're like, oh yeah. That's white supremacy. No. You could be black. You could be the darkest person in the room. Asian. You could be Asian. It don't matter. Indian. If you have the mentality of the Anglo-Saxons, the people who basically took this country. That's what I'm talking about. That's who the Anglo-Saxon is. If you have the mentality of an Anglo-Saxon or white supremacy or the Confederate mindset, guess what? You don't need a monument. Okay? You can still rock. You are the monument. Your mind is. And that's the one thing nobody ever talks about. The mentality. That monument, the mental monument. Honestly, I know I just talked about Stone Mountain, but honestly, the mental is number one. It's numero uno because the mental lives on. The mental can be passed down. We already seen DNA has already improved. Well, scientists have already proven that traumatic events can be passed down through DNA or events, period. So if you have racist people from then, they're passing down their DNA to other people, and they're getting that mentality, that monument of mentality in their head. That's the fight I think we need to take on, is the mentality. Okay, yeah, the monuments need to come down. They need to come down. I'll be there with you. I'll give me the rope. Give me the rope. But we need the rope. We need to tear down the mental monument. I feel like that's the most important because, like I just said, that shit can get passed down. And if we don't nip it in the bud now, the future will be bleak. Okay. So that's my thoughts on that. I'm not about to go in. Like I said, I'm not about to go in. I'll be here all night trying to list these monuments. It's 700, like I said. And there's probably more. That was just an estimate. There's probably even more. There might be some in other countries we don't even fucking know about. But, hey, they need to be torn down. The mental, we need to focus on the mental. That needs to be fixed, okay? So, I hope I've helped you a little bit. I hope I made your day better. You know, just trying to bring a little light, a little education to the people, because that's all I could do. That's all I can do in 2018. Just another episode. I hope everyone has a great day, great week, great month. Out!